This is Xan for Saturday Scholars, formerly the Xan and Shoob podcast. Today, we're going to be jumping into the Pac-12 and why the Pac-12 is such a dangerous contender for the college football playoff this season. It's no secret that the Pac-12 has been subject to many rumors when it comes to their future and their stability. It doesn't help that USC and UCLA are bolting off of the Big Ten. It doesn't help that the Big 12 undercut them by renegotiating their grant of rights a year early. So where does that leave the Pac-12? The Pac-12 is in a rather precarious position, and because of that, everyone is overlooking the Pac-12 this year, and no one realizes just how much quality there is outside of USC. Let's dive into it. The Pac-12 this season is arguably the strongest it has been in the past decade. USC, Utah, Washington, Oregon, all legitimate playoff contenders this year, with a wild card in Oregon State who could steal maybe a game or two against those teams. There is a lot of quality in the league this year. I know what you're thinking. Xan, why do those teams have a chance to make the college football playoff this year? Let me let you in on a little secret. It's called returning production. Returning production has a strong correlation with how a team either regresses or how a team progresses from one season to the next. There are exceptions and outliers to the rule every single year, but for the most part, it is correlated that teams who have more coming back tend to perform better or at least hold the status quo than teams who lose a lot from season to season. Why is this good for the Pac-12? Take a look at the Pac-12's offensive efficiency ratings last season. Pretty incredible with exception to a few, especially at the top. Look at the offensive line efficiency, line yards, which is an indicator of how many yards an offensive line is able to create before a defender is able to put contact on the running back. Sack rate, amount of pass downs that an offensive line gives up a sack. All of these teams have phenomenal offensive lines. The Pac-12 has some of the best offensive lines around. Look at this rating. TARP is a statistic developed by the Action Network, which basically is a statistical model that factors in transfers and returning production. TARP, T-A-R-P, transfers and returning production. Any team with a considerable positive TARP is more than likely, at a bare minimum, going to hold to the status quo, if not improve. What does this chart tell you? This chart tells you that many of these teams in the top 5 here are prime candidates to have amazing seasons. The Pac-12 is loaded with offensive talent this year, but their one bugaboo has been defense. Utah, Oregon State, exceptions to the rule. But all of our other big dogs in the conversation are aiming to improve, and their TARP rating suggests that they have a very good chance to at least improve from where they were last year, which makes all these teams just a little bit more dangerous. The Pac-12, in fact, may be too good for its own good this year. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at college football holistically here. This year, we are still in a 4-team format before we move to the expanded playoff system. Look around the nation. In the SEC, we have UGA. Easiest schedule on the block aside from Tennessee. They play an absolute cakewalk, and even with one loss, UGA is probably getting in by the committee. One spot's locked. Michigan, Ohio State, unless Penn State has something to say about it, one of those two teams is a lock. There will be a Big Ten representative in the college football playoff. Third spot, very likely going to be a Clemson or Florida State, whoever comes out of the ACC, or a 2-loss SEC team such as LSU, Tennessee, or Alabama, maybe even 1 loss. So where does that leave us? The Pac-12 has very little room for error. Maybe 2 losses in a conference championship can get them into that 4th spot. But it may not be enough. When you look around the rest of college football, you still see Notre Dame. You still see Texas. Whoa, 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 whoa. I know what you're thinking. Texas. That's another topic for another video. But the Pac-12 really has their work cut out for them since they have so many quality teams in the league this year, many of which play each other. UCLA avoids 2 of the big boys, but many of the other big boys play each other, and there is a very good chance that they knock each other off. Not to mention Oregon State. Beaver fans, I don't see you as a playoff contender this year, but you are more than good enough to play spoiler to some of these upper teams in the conference. You can easily probably win 9, maybe 10 games if you play your cards right. We got to see. But the thing is, the Pac-12 is so quality that it just may hurt itself at the end of the day. Hey man, what are you doing? Huh? Come on, man. Stop sleeping on the Pac-12. There may be a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Pac-12 this year, and even if this is the last year of the Pac-12, it's going to be some of the best football you're going to see all year. Do not sleep on the Pac-12. Watch those Pacific window games, because these teams are true contenders this year. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the podcast as well as our Twitter page. We're pretty active with everybody on there who tweets at us, so feel free to check us out. Links are in the description. Again, thank you for watching. This is Xan for Saturday Scholars, signing out.
What? The Pac-12's so quality, how come they don't have a grand rights yet? USC's all they have. USC, USC, USC.